Hi guys, welcome back to Storytime with Sullivan. I'm Sullivan and this is Lotus, our second ever husky from here. This is our dog. You can't adopt him. Sorry. He's a big teddy bear. He's smiling. This book is called The Husky from Kentucky. Julie's Christmas Shenanigans. Written by Monica Cherry, illustrated by Jenny Ford. All right, Lotus, you ready to read? Okay. Here's the first page. The Husky from Kentucky. Julie's Christmas Shenanigans. Dedication. For Julie, paw printed on our hearts and forever on our clothes. Snow was falling in western Kentucky. It would be a white Christmas if Paducah was lucky. Julie was snuggled inside her warm home, gazing at the tree lights and ornaments all the way up the dome. The angel atop marked the season, but Julie didn't know the reason. There was singing and food and tidings of good cheer, for the most wonderful time of the year was here. There would be sledding to do. And cookies to bake. There would be gifts to wrap and boxes to shake. She heard people talking of babies, mangers, and the Virgin Mother.
Talk louder? Can you start over? Talk louder?
She heard people talking of babies, mangers, and the Virgin Mother, of peace and joy in giving to one another. But Julie could only think of she. It's how she ended up in this predicament, you see. One night, Mom and Dad left the house. Julie snuck round as quiet as a mouse. She sniffed boxes and bags beneath the tree in search of squeaky toys and beef jerky. Instead, she found an even better treat when her nose caught the scent of something cinnamon and sweet. A Christmas bread lay wrapped in plastic. Oh, it looked so delicious and fantastic. Julie's eyes grew wide as she licked her lips. It sparkled in front of her eyes, and her stomach did flips. And so with that, it was decided Julie must have it, and the opportunity had been provided. The reason why I was just looking. Look at that. That was so hilarious. Alright. The plastic was difficult, and with it she fought. This wasn't turning out quite like she thought. Mom and Dad will be home soon. They'd seen her mess in the living room. The loaf must be hidden, clear out of sight. Could she do it? If she hurried, she just might. She put it back under the tree. The crushed, crumbling loaf was all she could see. She tried again, find a new spot. Surely a small loaf of bread could fit anywhere. She sought. She sat it on the couch in the crack of the cushion. It was far too visible. She got to pushing. Finally, she gave up and went back to her search, hoping Mom and Dad would be late coming from church. Next, she tried the kitchen cabinets with no luck. In each door that she opens, her snout got stuck. The bathroom, their bedroom, where could she go? She poked and she prodded, shoved the loaf into corners using her toe. She made a big mistake. She couldn't hide it. It was time to accept her fate and admit that she tried it. But then an idea fluttered into her head. There was an unused room that had a bed. She ran, she jumped, she pushed around the covers. She hid the loaf of bread in a place no one would discover. Julie felt quite proud of herself. No one would know a thing. She'd been so still. The clock chimed 8. She heard keys outside jingle. Mom and Dad were home. Julie's paws began to tingle. Time to celebrate, Mom declared. As she headed to the tree, Julie just stared. Her little heart gave a flutter as her proud feeling melted like butter. They passed around cookies, treats, and gifts galore. With each trip to the tree, Julie's concern grew more and more. To each other, they said, she must be tired. They didn't realize what had transpired. They were putting away tissue paper and bags when Mom's shoulders started to sag. I had a loaf of bread baked for a friend who was here when we left. Do you think someone got in? She shared a knowing glance and looked over at Julie. She faked a big yawn and walked to her bed. She stretched out her legs and laid down her head. She must not let them think she had a clue. If they figured out, what would they do? Mom and Dad searched the house high and low. They weren't quite sure where all Julie could go. To hide a loaf of bread was quite the feat for a dog whose options were limited without a booster seat. Alas, Mom noticed the wrinkled spread, a trail of crumbs leading up to the bed. She saw that the pillows were especially frumpy, and that the bed covering was all bumpy. Behind the pillows lay a loaf of bread, covered in a beautiful wrapping, no teeth marks instead. Julie didn't realize that she'd been caught. When they called her name, she came without a second thought. She pranced in the room, feeling quite safe, until she saw what Dad held up in front of his face. She saw the bread. She glanced at Mom. She knew that look meant she had been in the wrong. She knew that she had made a terrible mistake. The stern looks they were giving her caused her heart to ache. She bowed her head and turned to escape. She'd think of a way to fix this. Maybe tape. Mom and Dad found Julie alone in her bed. They looked at each other. Then Julie, they said, You shouldn't have eaten the bread that we baked. It was a gift for others, not for you to take. But it's the season of giving. We know you feel bad. So as long as you're sorry, we don't have to be sad. We love you forever and we always will. When you do something bad, we'll love you even still. Julie wouldn't do it again. She meant it in earnest. She'd be better next year. Her resolve was the firmest. She thought she'd be thoughtful of others. She now knew the reason, for it felt better to give than to take, at least for the Christmas season. The end.